Breaking news.
Drama! Yes, drama when it comes to Manchester United.
It's all kicking off.
Man United won't break the bank for him. And if Man United won't break the bank for him, they've got other targets. According to new reports, the Manchester United hierarchy has begun to accept that Ruben Amorim may not have a striker, a new one, in place for the beginning of the season against Arsenal. Of course, we've seen that Manchester United have completed 2 signings, technically 3, but 2 major signings so far this summer. Matheus Cunha in the door. Tick. We've also seen Brian Mbeumo, number 19. That's done. 2 new number 10s, but we're still looking for that number 9. Now, if you thought, hey, Owen, there's still time to go until the beginning of the season. There's still, 3 weeks? About 3 weeks, just over 3 weeks to go until the curtain raiser at Old Trafford. That's plenty of time to bring in a number 9. Maybe not. Maybe not. The striker market right now is inflated, and that's actually getting a little bit threadbare, isn't it? Now, that's not to say we're not going to sign a striker this summer, but seemingly, even now, the Manchester United hierarchy are saying to themselves, it might be closer to deadline day as opposed to opening day. The question is that going to cost Manchester United? Is that going to cost us and make us have a slow start to a season, which we can't afford any kind of slow starts? We can't start this season how we ended it last season, which is by dropping points. But will it make a massive difference? Let me know your thoughts in the chat as always. Good morning. Welcome back to United View. Welcome to the Transfer View, where we discuss things all Manchester United and transfers. So if you haven't already, be sure to smash the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. I can already see close to 500 people through the door. We're nearly halfway to 100 likes. If you haven't already, click that like button. I can see people in the chat. Cuban, Paul Merson settings. I worry for Amorim, Jeff. I worry for him. Stephen Jinx says, welcome back, Owen. Yes, second day hath returneth for me. Kristen says, Watkins on deadline day. Here we go. And Compost says, this is annoying. Writing off August fixtures just to save £1. No, we're going to be talking about it. Tabra says, ask us about, you guessed it, the weather. The weather. It's quite, where I am today, it's quite bright and quite sunny, actually. It's a nice little breeze going on. It's perfect temperature for me. It's not too hot, sun's out, but not too crazy. So I'm very happy with the weather. The weather this morning. Amanor says it's sunny in Liverpool. It's overcast in Colchester, though, Kristen. Terence it says Maltese weather, hot as F, bloody hell. MA says grey here with a touch of sun in East Manchester. You know what? I need to. And Tabra says it's sunny in Manchester. I need to get some kind of like UV weather map here, don't I? When I do that bit in the morning, I need to have like a full, because this is obviously school green. I could turn this into, and we can see in this section here, we're going to get some kind of overcast weather here, but that's just going to sort of breeze right through, and by the time you get to the evening, that's what you're really going to be looking at, and it's going to be a nice sort of easterly sort of temperature. And I think I could do that. I think maybe and it might be more interesting to talk about the Manchester United transfers or the lack thereof. Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. An early super chat from Amanor says, not gonna lie, this pre-season performance is so important. Tell me about it. Yeah, tell me about it indeed. I mean, it's massive, isn't it? I mean, we're going to be talking a bit more about pre-season. Obviously, Fleck and KG have landed in NYC, in the Big Apple. We've got a clip from them in Times Square. The video went up early this morning, very early for them. You can tell I'm going out on a limb to suggest that I think they might be quite jet lagged. They definitely appear to be quite jet lagged, but They're churning out the content as per usual. So they're out there. Like I said, we're going to have a clip coming up from them later on in the show, and you can go check out the full video. There'll be much more videos coming. And also, if you're in the New York area, you can go and watch them live. Yes, tickets still available for today, later on this evening on East Coast time. You can still get your tickets. So scan the QR code when it comes up on the sidebar. Links in the video description. It's also pinned in the chat. Right, let's talk about strikers. Let's talk about strikers because it feels like that's what's next. I've been saying this for a few weeks now, haven't I? Bill Goldberg settings. Who's next? I guess the striker situation is what some people are looking for. Other people are saying midfielder. Other people are saying goalkeeper. Look, let's face it. We need all three. We need all three positions. But now we've got the 210s to kind of complete that trifecta. People are like, right, you've got Cunha, got Mbeumo. Just need that. Need that number 9. That number 9 ready to go right now. But if you were hoping that it was going to be ready in time for Arsenal on the first day of the season or Manchester United's first game of the season, maybe not so much. According to Chris Wheeler yesterday, and it wouldn't be the beginning of a pre-season without some, negative reporting, would it? But Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail said Manchester United's hierarchy have accepted that Ruben Amorim may start the 25-26 season without a new striker. Now, obviously, this led to a lot of, the GTA meme. Here we go again. We can't, in typical Manchester United fashion, we can't really celebrate a new signing very long, can we, before it's all going to shit again. And apologies for swearing so early. And I suppose that's the problem when you take 6 weeks to sign Bryan Mbeumo, isn't it? That by the time you do sign Mbeumo and everyone's happy that he's here and he's at first training session and yet we got him in time for tour. It's like, well, we've kind of been aware that we were going to sign Bryan Mbeumo for 6 weeks and we're kind of looking for who's going to be next, because we need more than Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo. Don't let it be mistaken. As I mentioned yesterday, Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, they make this team better, much better. You're adding in goals, you're adding in assists, you're adding 2 of the sort of top 5 best attacking players in the league last season. And, you're adding again 20 goals of Mbeumo and was it 7 assists? Cunha was at 15, 16 goals and a bunch of assists. So you're adding in quality into that team. Absolutely. But we also finished 15th and we need much more. Not even to Champions League or anything. Just to compete. Just to compete. We're still in that kind of, I don't know about you, we're still in that kind of mindset of what does a good season look like? What does a good season look like this year for Manchester United? Because it was so bad last year, 15th, that if you finish 10th, great. We were better than last season, but it's still really bad. It's still really, really bad. So what is, what are we kind of looking for? So we need goals. We need goals. It's been a problem for us the last however many seasons, not just last season, the last at least 3 seasons or so. We've struggled to score goals. We have added that into that team, but we need more. We need more. So the striker is a must. When we were talking about priority positions going into this summer, we spoke about obviously the new 10s and we spoke about striker, then midfielder, goalkeeper. There's still a lot to do. So I think the idea that potentially you could have that first game of the season against Arsenal, it's the opposition as well. And it's the run of games that we will have, knowing that we could face Arsenal, and if we only had sort of 2 people through the door, yes, Cunha and Mbeumo, good signings, and they can make a difference. But long term, I mean, it's just we need a striker. We need a striker. That, as I said, I compared it to literally getting a new hip replacement. Take the old one out, put the new one in. That's where we're at with Manchester United. The old attack, take it out. The 2 10s of the striker, take it out and put a new one in. If we get a striker, that's what we would have done. So that is a must. But then this is when you have to get into your media literacy bag, I suppose, as well, because look at the language that's being used there by Chris Wheeler. It's a lot of hypothetical, isn't it? Let's have a look at it once again. Manchester United's hierarchy have accepted that Ruben Amorim may start the season without a new striker. So, I mean, obviously us as fans read that as we're going to start the new season without a striker. We probably might not even buy one throughout the whole summer. But what Chris Wheeler's saying is, I suppose that's something that is being considered by the Manchester United hierarchy at the moment of, well, it depends how it goes. Depends how quickly a deal comes together, of course. It might be much more smoother than when we were negotiating with Brentford, who Manchester United, by the end of it, had it not been for Brian Mbeumo, being so keen on joining Manchester United, maybe they would have walked away. Maybe they would have walked away from those negotiations quite some time ago because they felt like Brentford were, moving the goalpost quite a lot of starting off, they want the same as Mateus Cunha. Now they want 65. Now they want 70. At one point, seemingly, they wanted 70 plus 7. And then they conceded a little bit and came down to 65 plus 6. So hopefully that might be atypical for the next transfer negotiation for whoever the striker may be. And it's much more straightforward. And by the time, we're playing Fiorentina at Old Trafford in a few weeks' time, it's near enough through the door and they're ready to go for the first game of the season. I don't know. The point being is, I suppose is what they're saying is that anything can happen. The problem is with United fans, we don't care about anything can happen. We want concrete. We want concrete at, what's going to happen. Not anything. We don't really want hypothetical. We don't really want wait and see. We've waited for a long time. I think, and this was something I brought up quite a lot when talking about the Mbeumo stuff and the Cunha stuff. I'm still really interested to see who is going to be that person that we go after. Who is going to be that one that we've earmarked of, right, we're going for him. We're going for this player. Because we've known with Cunha for a long time, we're going after him. We feel like we can get the deal done quick. It can be done fast because obviously release clause. He only wants to come to Manchester now. We can get that one done. But the window just opens and boom. With Brian Mbeumo, 6-7 weeks ago, we knew that's who we were going after. We knew he wanted United. We're like, well, that is going to happen at some point. Boom. With the striking situation, we still don't really know, do we? I mean, we're getting these sort of links, but we get linked to everyone. We get linked to everyone, so it's difficult to kind of tell. Well, what is real, what isn't real? It's difficult to tell. Is that just paper talk? Is that just media fodder, or is this legitimate? And we haven't got that Ornstein Bomber Fabrizio exclusive of Manchester United have put a bid in, or Manchester United have had concrete talks, or Manchester United are doing this, Manchester United are doing that for this player. It's still that very much speculatory phase at the moment where, wow, this is where we get the piss taken out of us for monitoring FC, looking at FC, aware FC, that kind of thing, looking FC. That's still the stage that we're at. So that worries me a little bit more, is that we still don't know, well, again, who's next? Who's it going to be? I'd be a little bit more confident if we had those reports at the moment of, right, we know it's going to be this person and we have this amount of time between now and Arsenal to get it done. At the moment, it's like, well, we don't know. We just know that we could be looking at for a striker. I mean, that's about it. Anything else, even from the credible sources, like we spoke yesterday about the David Ornstein transfer deal sheet. It's like, well, yeah, they're looking at Ollie Watkins, they're looking at Nicholas Jackson, they're looking at Benjamin Šeško. They've decided that all of them are kind of too expensive, but if the price comes down, they might circle back to that. They're looking at other targets, but you go, who are those other targets? And maybe that's where that story comes from, which is, well, there might not be a new striker before the beginning of the season because we don't even know who it's going to be, let alone entering into proper concrete negotiations. But one thing we have seen from Ineos' tenure at Manchester United, because this did happen a few times last season, is that very much we could get an Ornstein bomber, and it comes out, it says, Man United are deep in talks with Club X over Player X, and there's hope that a deal can be reached fairly quickly. And you go, oh, that kind of came out of nowhere. So we shall see. But it is a concern, no doubt about that. We're closing in on 1,000 people watching at the moment. We're at 160 likes. We can go higher. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Reminder, pre-season is just around the corner now. Flex and KG, they're out there in the US of A. They're out there in New York, in the Big Apple. And the first game will be Saturday, right there. Perfect timing. Saturday against West Ham. I'll be live 2 hours before kickoff, as per usual. 2 hours. Kickoff's at midnight. I'll be live at 10. I will have loads to discuss. It'll be a fun Saturday. Why not? Be a brilliant Saturday evening. We'll talk about transfers. We'll talk about anything, really. We'll have some clips, some videos, some stories, some chat, and then we'll watch a match until the wee hours of the morning. What better way to spend your Saturday? Well, there might be other better, but still, join us Saturday. It'll be fun. It'll be good. Super Chat here from Terrence says Cunha and Bumo and Leon must make the team better. Anything worse than last season, we would have been relegated, forgetting how bad the last three were. You bring up a good point, Terrence, and big up as always involved in the morning shows. We were fortunate in a sense that the bottom three was just determined weeks ahead of time and just kind of season petered out. I mean, last season, I think, there was that report, wasn't there, that went round about the viewing statistics and the viewing figures of games last season. And they found out that the viewing, I don't know the exact percentage, but the viewing statistics were down quite considerably. Less people were watching. And the conclusion that they came to was the league was boring this time around because Liverpool had basically won the league by like February. They ran away with it. There was no real relegation battle because everyone knew who was going to get relegated. Also, because Manchester United was shit, that hurts the league. Like, the league benefits when Manchester United do well, even though our viewing figures still never really went down, which just goes to show just how important Manchester United are to the Premier League. In our worst season ever, we're still like the most watched team. And also, I think it just goes to, I've spoken about this quite extensively here, that, football's changed, isn't it? Football's changed. I think that the sort of free-flowing football matches are becoming more and more rare. You're getting more, tactical battle, a lot of 0-0s and a lot of heavy possession games, and a team that has 60, 70, 80% possession against a low block. Can you try and break them down? Can the other team try to frustrate them, which isn't maybe the best watch? Then sometimes you get VAR drama or refereeing decisions, which I get that people go, well, it's drama, it adds to the game. But I think over time it has been a bit of a net negative, and it's sort of taken the spontaneity away from the game too, and maybe sort of over-regulation. It's just, and also because there are so many games now, I don't know about you, but there is this element of sort of football burnout, isn't there? Even the Club World Cup over the summer, I mean, obviously because it's a competition that was just created for money. Chelsea obviously got their final, their trophy, and the badge that they can wear for 4 years and what have you. But I remember when they started that competition, I watched the first few games, and then sort of the remainder of it, I was just like, I'm pretty burnt out and just watching football matches. I need a break. I need a break from just watching these games all the time. And it's not even just because Man United are rubbish. It was just oversaturation, maybe. So, and I don't know what's it's gonna be like this season with the Prem. I think there is a lot of excitement that hopefully it will be much more competitive this season. You look at a lot of the teams have had big transfer markets. Obviously, Liverpool, like, smash records. City surely they're going to be better than last season, right? They spent money. Arsenal spent a lot of money. Obviously, you got a lot of teams in the Champions League as well. Chelsea, my goodness, how many players are they buying? It's non-stop. Xavi Simons is next. Newcastle back in the Champions League, and then this morning, Alexander Isak's not on their preseason tour. They're saying it's because of an injury, even though they did a scan on his injury and he's fine. So I'm not sure. But as a United fan, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned by the fact of the teams that I've mentioned there that are improving and have spent a lot of money so far. Like your Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. I look at them and I do look at us and I go, well, we were already 15th last season. And it feels like, even if, let's say we are improving, we've got Cunha and Bumo, gets us a bit better. It feels like that gap is still either it's exactly the same because both sets have improved, or it's still growing. You know what I mean? It's still just growing. And the influx of players into the Premier League this season is pretty incredible. But at the same time, I was talking to Flex about this the other day, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. I had to kind of catch myself because I think we do this every season, just with every club, because every club's going to sign players. And I think at the beginning of every season, we'll look at teams, won't we, on paper, we'll be like, that team is brilliant. That team is unbelievable. There's no one can compete with them. No one can compete with them. They are amazing. Fast forward 2 or 3 months, that team on paper that looked good 2 months ago now looks completely awful. And you go, oh my God, they need to sign 11 new players. That team is shit. And like just a few months prior, you go, look how great that team is on paper. So it's funny how these things work out, isn't it? You look at, say, an Arsenal and all the fantastic players they've got at the moment, and you go, now they've got, Gyökeres, Saka, Zubimendi, Odegaard, and Declan Rice and their back four, blah, blah, blah. Who's to say in a few months' time, you look at it and go, that rubbish. Football moves very, very quickly, doesn't it? So we shall see. And there's still plenty of time to go in the window as well. Show says, Højlund remontada this season, no need to panic. I don't know about you as well. And I know because it's a super chat from Show, so it's, dripping in sarcasm. But who else is tired of the remontada thing? That after that whole remontada at the end of last season with Real Madrid and that, it's like the most over word used in like football space now, isn't it? Remontada. Yeah. You go, I don't. If I never see it again, I'll be happy. Lost Boys says Cunha played 72% of games at left wing, and Mbeumo played 90% of games at right wing last season, moving proven wide players to the 10. Boys, I don't know if this works, to be honest. Let's pray. I mean, I suppose it depends, because were they really fixed in those positions, shall we say? Yes, on paper, that's where they started the game. But if you watched Wolves a lot, Matheus Cunha did pick up the ball a lot of the time in central areas as well, despite playing on the left wing. Positions aren't as rigid as they used to be. Just because Bryan Mbeumo started there that's why he was on the team sheet, doesn't mean he doesn't come into the middle of the pitch. And even if he starts as a 10, doesn't mean he won't drift out wide, and it'll be him and Ahmad on that right-hand side. So I don't worry too much about that, and isn't the whole point these players have been bought, they've been bought for these roles in mind, that they can, if not adapt, but they're ready to play in those positions, and they're going to be drifting out. So, you look at people like Matheus Cunha, he's in a front three as well at Wolves, so he should know that. I mean, it was quite interesting watching the game against Leeds, where you felt like for the first 20, 25 minutes of that game, Matheus Cunha did have that kind of look about him of like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be? There was a lot of Bruno and Ruben Amorim telling where to go, but that would take time. The first half, he was probably one of our best players, if not our best player. And I wasn't saying that much because the first half was pretty nondescript. The whole game was pretty nondescript, to be honest. But I'm still. You can't take away my confidence with those players. Not yet. We've got over 1,000 people watching, folks, which is fantastic. If you haven't already, click the like button. I tell you what was being weird this morning. Let's see if this works now. It's always, you never know with YouTube. You never know. It was being a bit buggy. I was trying to see if this works. The super chat goal, and it wasn't. Let's try again. Are you ready for pre-season? Question mark. Tick. It worked. Oh God. Sometimes. Oh, Llewellyn. Obviously, I will not spoil it. I've seen it. Now, I don't know if just Josh Media Graphics Guru Visual Ninja is watching this. Probably not, because what's the time over there right now in New York? It's 4:30 in the morning. But I've watched it. Fantastic Four. I won't know. Because I don't know what counts as spoilers. Because if it's like, when I have these conversations with Josh will say to me, "You're not allowed to say anything to me, even if you liked the movie or not. That's a spoiler." So I can't even say whether I liked it or I didn't like it. Things I liked, things I didn't like, or whatever. So, if you want me to tell you if it's good or not, or to go watch it, if you don't consider that a spoiler, I can tell you that. As long as we agree, that's not a spoiler. Of like, oh, was it good? Would you recommend it? Blah blah blah. A lot of people asking me, is it good? I don't think that's a spoiler. So I will answer that. If you were on the fence about going to watch it, I would go and watch it. It's a good film. I thought it was good. What did I prefer? Do you know, I would probably lean to. I actually maybe enjoyed Superman maybe more, but yeah, it was good. And actually, what's really good about it is, unlike all the other Marvel films where you're like, oh, I've got to watch this, you don't have to watch anything going into it. As a standalone film, you can just watch, and it's good. Not perfect, but it's good. A couple of super chats here as well. Akash says, Wolves need to become our feeder club. And Tabrez says, after we lost to Spurs in the final, I expected Old Trafford to be empty for the Villa game. Not an empty seat in sight. We are massive. This team doesn't deserve the fans. Yeah, it's very true. And again, that's the concern, isn't it? Of like that final against Spurs, performance, the season, need more. You know what I mean? Absolutely need more. 100%. Alejandro Garnacho. We're talking a little bit about exits now and how maybe Garnacho could be next. Of course, this comes after Marcus Rashford's loan to Barcelona was confirmed yesterday. So Fabrizio Romano said, don't forget the situation of Alejandro Garnacho, who remains a player appreciated by Chelsea, remains a case to watch in this summer transfer window. Of course, I don't know, because it looks like Chelsea are going to sign Xavi Simons. But Garnacho was in the headlines once again yesterday because, as I said, Marcus Rashford's loan to Barcelona was confirmed. And you can see there, look, he was in the comments. Let's go. What an outrage. What an outrage. This is why I should never play for Manchester United again, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about you. I really did not care when I saw I saw Fabrizio Romano tweeted it, but like Garnacho response to Rashford's move to Barcelona. I was like, whatever. Speaking of Rashford, of course, as I mentioned, he was unveiled yesterday. He was asked about Manchester United. He said, I don't have anything bad to say about Manchester United. I think it's been an important part of my life. I'm grateful. I just wish them all the best and hope they are successful in the future. Sounds like a player that's not coming back, isn't it? To be honest, again, I was actually pleasantly surprised how I think most Man United fans are on the same page about this when it comes to Rashford at Barcelona. Pretty unanimously, everyone hopes he does well. And it's like, all right, cool. You got your move you wanted. You got the dream move. He even now is on the record to say that he wanted to go to Barcelona in December, which we all knew. That's why the Villa thing happened quite late, because he's only wanted to go to Barca. And once that became, okay, it's not going to be till the summer, then it was like, right, I go to Villa on loan and revisit it in the summer. So it was never going to be sold. It was never going to be going anywhere else apart from Barca. Barca only wanted to do a loan. You know, like I said, I thought it was going to be one of those ones that actually ended up getting done late August. I'm glad it's out of the way. Now, the buy clause, buy option rather, is like 30 million-ish. Have a good season there. Get your dream transfer. Man United don't have to worry about it for a year. All of the wages are covered. He's taken a pay cut. Manchester United save, was it between 12 and 17 million pounds? Put that to go getting a striker. Put that to go getting a midfielder or a goalkeeper or something. You know, all right, you've got some money there. Put it into getting a player in. As far as the Garnacho element of it, of him, you know, in the comments, I mean, I'm sure if you want to delve deep into that comment section, there's probably players that are still at Manchester United that aren't part of the exiled five that probably wish Rashford congratulations or well done on your new move, because you would, wouldn't you? Just to say well done. You know, well done on getting your move, your dream move. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I was more pissed off of the Garnacho wearing the Rashford number 9 Aston Villa shirt on the page, because that's much more deliberate. That's much more, I'm going to make a bit of a statement here. I know what I'm doing. I can, you know, it's not very subtle. You know what I mean? You go, oh, okay, I know what you're doing there. That one, I don't really care that much about, to be honest with you. With Garnacho leaving, he'll still leave this summer. I don't have any doubts about that. It's just where. The only concern I have about it is, and Fabrizio Romano's mentioned this plenty of times whenever he's done these reports, hasn't he, that Garnacho only wants the Prem. He wants to stay in the Prem. He wants to stay in the Prem. Well, if you were one of his advisors at the moment, you would say, actually, you know what, like, your options are starting to get a bit limited, really. Because, okay, you want to stay in the Prem. Well, you're not going to Arsenal. You're not going to Liverpool. You're not going to City. The Chelsea one, I don't know whether that Chelsea one will happen. The only thing that still is in his favour with the Chelsea one is just when we think that they're going to be not signing any more players for wide positions or attacking positions, they just sign them anyway. So I suppose maybe we shouldn't look at the fact that they are signing these wide players and signing these wingers and signing Xavi Simons and all of those people. That maybe shouldn't be an indicator that, oh, well, yeah, but they've got Gittins and they've got Xavi Simons and they've got this, they've got that. Why? They just like signing, you know, they like signing wide players and attacking players. So that one, I guess, is still on the table. As long as the transfer window is open, Garnacho to Chelsea, I guess, is still possible. Newcastle, well, I suppose maybe, again, not totally impossible, depending on what happens with them. Like I said, with the stuff about Alexander Isak this morning, they might have a big windfall of money come in. But now I'm like, where would Isak go? Because Liverpool just signed Ekitike. I mean, it was either go to Liverpool or stay at Newcastle. Liverpool just signed Ekitike for a lot of money. So surely they're not going to, if they go back, they end up having a window where they sign Isak and Ekitike. Holy shit. Oh my God. Spurs, there was a story this morning about LAFC, I think it was, going after Heung-min Son. Obviously, top earner at the club, big name at the club. If Son does decide that he wants to go to the MLS, then obviously there's a big hole in that Spurs team and there's then money to be spent in that Spurs team. I suppose you can't rule that one out. If Son leaves and there's a space there on the left, obviously Garnacho's not going to be as on bigger wages as Son is. Not that Spurs pay big wages, but there'll be money available. They could do that. So Spurs could still be on the table, perhaps. Which would be ironic, wouldn't it? If, you know, we lose in the Europa League final. He's talking about how shit we've been all season. He ends up at Spurs. So, yeah. But again, that's, I think, very much dependent on what happens with Son. I know Newcastle are going after Wissa, but then if Son does leave, that could Thomas Frank go in for his former player? Yeah, maybe. So Spurs, I guess that's on the table. The Villa one, that one does feel like it does have legs because of the PSR issues, and there could be a situation where 2 deals for, Watkins and Garnacho get done independently of each other, but they do benefit each other financially. So there's still a couple of Premier League clubs there, but as time goes on, you feel like he's going to be boxing himself in even more. And then there might have to come a time where you might just have to go into Europe. I mean, I think, as James mentioned previously, the only actual club to really open up talks legitimately with United for Garnacho was Bayer Leverkusen, was Erik ten Hag. And he doesn't want to go there. Now, maybe as time moves on through the window and they start to panic and it looks less and less likely that a Premier League move is going to happen, maybe he does go to Leverkusen. Of course, they've got money because they've sold a bunch of players this summer. Look at the windfall they got from Florian Wirtz and Frimpong. Looks like Granit Xhaka is going to leave them as well. Go to Sunderland, which is crazy. Not that they get a lot of money for that, but certainly they've got a lot of money to play around with, don't they? So they could do a deal for Garnacho if Garnacho wants to go. As of right now, he doesn't want to. But I would think this is probably going to be the next one to happen. That or Sancho. I suppose the Sancho one, any day, that one could just turn around. But it feels like with the Sancho one that every single time he's really, really close to going somewhere, i.e. Juventus, we then find out the next day that not only is he nowhere near close, it's not even a thing. Just like made up. Like, I don't know if you saw this as well. I think it was yesterday. Coming from the same reporters in Italy, Gianluca Di Marzio, Alfredo Padula, still coming out going, yep, Juventus, they're really interested in Jadon Sancho, but they just want to get some other stuff done first. I was like, what?
No, wait a minute. Wait.
I thought you said like a week ago it was closer than close. I thought you said a week ago that it's never been more close. Remember that? It's never been more close. Jadon Sancho going to the old lady. No, it's never been more close. Well, yeah, they're interested. They're interested. Well, David Ornstein saying he doesn't even know where it's come from. So what's the truth there? The most movement we've seen from Jadon Sancho over the last week is when he was posting on Insta, talking about how he won a European trophy. That's the most we've seen of him. So, or any movement of him going anywhere. So, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. So, yeah, maybe Garnacho and Sancho. Oh, I suppose maybe the Bolasie one, because that probably won't cost anything. Wasn't at one point, I think he was linked to like a move to Celtic, perhaps. I would be shocked if he goes back to the Eredivisie or something, perhaps. We shall see. We shall see indeed. Where are we at in terms of likes? We're still under 300 likes, folks. So if you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe as well. Of course, it is, yes, Preseason tour. Preseason tour has begun. We can see it right there. Yes, the United Preseason tour begins. And if you've been watching United View this morning, it went up a couple of hours ago, which was in the very wee hours of the morning for them over there in New York. Flex and KG are stateside, yes. The first of many, many, many videos of them in USA has now dropped. A reminder, make sure you got the notification bells switched on because the upload schedule goes out the window, time zones and all that fun stuff. So make sure you got the notification switched on when a new video goes up or an emergency live, what have you. But they have landed. They're there. They're safe. They're sound. Ahead of Saturday's first US preseason tour match, of course, against West Ham at the MetLife in New Jersey. I'm walking here. Not very good. I know. We'll move on very quickly. Here is Flex and KG in the Big Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, people, what's going on? We are here
Live.
right. We've
been here.
Well,
No, but we're here live, but when you watch it's not live.
no, it's pre-recorded. So when he does that trick thing of like we're live,
It's live now.
It's not live, as you can see, because you're watching this in the daytime, probably depending on where you are. But we are here in Times Square. The tour has begun. Me and KG are here. But before we get any further, as you guys know, we've been telling you guys on the lead up into this tour is brought to you by Oxford Natural and Gowan Life.
Gowan Life.
It's powered. What is it, Josh? optimized, yeah?
Do it again.
So you lot are going to keep optimized, yeah? That's what you lot are going to keep seeing throughout this tour. So get used to that phrase. Shout out to Dr. Andre. You know what I mean? We've been up to the clinic
health.
on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Should have a gut health.
Little bit of gut health, little bit of equilibrium. Yeah. But we got a lot to do, man. Yeah, the fact that that's a Marcel thing.
True.
Marcel thing, you know.
We're up-regulating ourselves. And hopefully, Man United up-relegate their performance, yeah? That's what I'm hoping. Let's just keep it real. We're out here to see Mbwems, to see Cunha. We touch down, and we're trying to say these man, yeah? Don't be infected by what's gone before. Don't get infected by the 15th. You don't want it. It's new time, new era, new settings. That's what we got to say, bro.
Well, yes. I know you don't really like to write the new slate, but I think, for me, this season, this preseason is so important, bro.
It's the most important preseason we've ever had.
I know we can we have to not go too extra.
It's the most important preseason we've ever had.
If we 100%. Because if we don't show, like you say, we get to the end of it and you go, we're not ready. I never forget that. High up in the Allegiant Stadium, Dortmund just smashed us, and you went, Flex, we're not ready for the season, you know. And I was like, nah, don't worry, man. It's next week. Don't worry, they'll be ready by then.
Yeah.
And we all know how it ended.
Bro, I understand. Like, you gotta understand. I understand a thing called delusion. Yeah. And I understand how it works.
And hope.
And what happens? Hope. All these things. Yeah. Now, when your team doesn't give you things to be deluded about, that's scary. You know, it's scary hours. You want to be talking like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Like, nothing that can happen. And that's why I'm so happy about the games we're playing. Because we're not playing massive games.
No.
West Ham, like the level,
kind of
Everton.
Puts the pressure up there. It kind of get slapped up.
Whoa, no, it tells us everything we need to know. It's gonna, right now, we're gonna have the realist understanding of where we are. I said to you in a video we did many years back, I goes, Brentford are better than us. Remember all the teams that said they're better than us?
Yeah.
And guess what? Time has passed. These teams are now better than us.
You're right.
We're lower than Wolves, but now it's an opportunity for something different. It's opportunity.
Fireworks going off here.
Yeah. It's an opportunity for the team to now say, we've had a break. That season was that season. The storm is over, and we're ready to go. That's what Amorim said.
That's what I was going to say with Ruben Amorim as well. Like, he has to start fast. There's no other way. We've got 2 signings before preseason, or 4 preseason, which is good. And it's the 2 ones that we obviously were the number 1 target. So that's positive. Individuals, players.
Number 1 targets in their position, because we missed out on some number 1 targets that we
wanted.
Absolutely.
We didn't get. We haven't got a 9
yet. You're correct.
We
didn't get the lap.
Yeah. But in terms of the 2 10s that we was going after, we got them. Individuals, players, like, who needs to show that they're ready for the season? Who's got an opportunity to take a shirt? What's locked in? What's not locked in? Like, who's the nailed on starters from now?
Well, Bruno, just because the manager begged him to stay. So Bruno's the nailed on starter.
Cunha and
Mbwems, nailed on starter.
3.
And now this is where it gets dark. Dorgu, no. Because Dorgu's got competition from Diego Leon. But look, you guys can't do that. He just arrived. It was too soon. First game.
That's what I'm saying. So I think.
No, but you don't know.
Dorgu's a nailed on starter.
No, it's not nailed on.
Because you could smash the tour.
Anything could happen. Anything could happen on the tour.
All right, okay. So that's 4.
But then guess what though? Here's uncomfortable conversation. This guy in Delo is going to be doing nonsense. Delo likes the competition. He's fighting Ahmad for the right wing back competition. Don't be surprised, because Delo came on and was whipping in balls early, playing our position, and he might be able to be. It might be a situation that says, well, I'm better in that right wing back position than you are in that position. So listen, there's positions up for grab. I need everyone to feel uncomfortable. Really, no shoe-ins, because Kobe Mainu. As soon as we get to a press conference, I'm asking the manager, what's your plans with Kobe this season? Where do you see him playing? Is he a 10? Is he deeper? Has he got what you're looking for? Because you talked about I need more pace, more power. Well, can Kobe ever give you that?
That's not Kobe, that's not.
Well, I want to know. I want to know. Like,
See, a little bit of a hint there. A little bit of a hint, a little bit of a teaser of Just Flexing KG in NYC in Times Square. The beginning of the Manchester United 25-26 preseason tour. Full video is out on the channel right now. And as I mentioned, more content from those guys out there will be coming soon, whether it is match previews, whether it's Flex and KG shows, whether it's stadium tours, player interviews, manager interviews, you never know, collaborations, everything involved in their press conferences, as KG mentioned as well. That is all coming. You know how it goes here at United View. when it pertains to preseason. Nobody does it better. And in our own very unique way, we do it. So, yes, they're out there. They're safe and sound. Again, a little bit jet lagged. I think the time they were saying that they recorded that was pretty wild. But they wanted to make sure that they had a message for you guys. So, again, go check out the full video. And also be sure to get your Optimum day and night, new and improved formula. And you can get, what do they do? Optimized. I can't really, optimized. There you go. Optimized. Yes, hopefully that will catch on. Optimized. And as far as, again, the preseason content, now that the team is out there, I'm thinking when the first press conference will be. Probably tomorrow. I know that I think James was saying there's an open training session, I think, today or tomorrow. And again, there'll be press conferences. Of course, first match, as I mentioned, against West Ham at MetLife Stadium. That'll be on Saturday. It's a midnight kickoff. I'll be live at 10 p.m. And actually, if you might not be watching live at the moment, but you might be watching later on. When it comes to tour, you can see right there in the sidebar there is still time. Today, in New York at the Long Acre Tavern, Flex and KG live, the first ever Flex and KG live show in person will be taking place at the Long Acre Tavern. You can still get tickets. You can still scan that QR code, get tickets, and you never know what Flex and KG are going to say when they're live, right? I mean, especially KG, the comedian. It's bad enough when we're on stream. We have to be careful with him, and he has to be careful with what he says. So we shall see. As far as with that preseason game at the weekend, kind of what to, I guess, build on what Flex and KG were talking about there. What are we looking for? Let's be honest here, guys. In the chat, I know in the chat you're always honest with me. What are you looking for on Saturday? I mean, there was this last Saturday was a really interesting experience, actually, because I felt it before the game. I obviously went live, I saw the chat, and everyone was kind of like, we've only got one signing, but your football's back, and I'm in a toxic relationship with this club, with this team, but I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm back. I'm back. We're back. Let's go. Right. Come on. Be better than last season. This can be better. And there was this like optimism of here we go. And then after that first half, it was like, not even first half, was it? It was like 20 minutes in. Everyone was like, oh, shit, I remember. We're rubbish. It's like it all came flooding back. Flooding back. And it was like, oh, no. And then naturally, of course, that led to meltdown. People lose their mind. And the discussion, once again, of it doesn't matter. It's preseason. Well, yes, it does matter when you've had the season we had last season. And last season we weren't good in preseason. Look what happened. And Louis van Gaal won every single game in preseason. And then we lost his first game against Swans. We have the discussions every year. But in terms of what we're looking for, Nessie says, I want to see how Cunha and Mbeumo play together. Zanul says just looking for goals. Buddy's looking just for a better game. PJ says signs the system isn't trash. Tabra says clinical finishing and progressing the ball from the back five into the middle and final third. Kristen says we need goals. MA says I want to see attacking football. Results don't matter to me. Compost says some goals would be nice. The wrap up Heaven says we're looking for basics. Do you know what it is though? It is a bit of a combination of what you're all saying there, isn't it? Which is like, just anything. just show anything. Less of the horseshoe of passing it around the back five and then gets into the midfield and it's like, oh, these players can't pass the ball. Progress the ball forward a little bit. And look, maybe with that progressing the ball through the midfield, maybe that's not going to be possible with some of the players that we've got. But you're looking at Ahmad now, right wing back with Mbeumo there. How are they going to link up? Cunha getting a bit more familiar, going, okay, right, yeah, he's looking better in his role, and just signs that they can link up and they can create something. Just again, anything, goals. So But that's what we'd be looking for, and it's, let's face it, folks, that is the bare minimum. I mean, talk about we're going. Can you pass? What we're looking for: goals and passing the ball. My God, but that's how bad we've been. That it's like, well, at least that's something. But then if you flip that and say, okay, well, what are you expecting to see? That's a different question entirely, isn't it? So those same people that I was highlighting there in the chat, that's what you want to see. That's what you're looking to see. What are you expecting to see on Saturday? Because maybe this is when it gets into that territory of, are we setting up our expectations too high and we're going to get annoyed because we know these players are rubbish. We know these players can't pass. We know this and we know that. So that's what we want to see. What do we expect to see? Are we expecting to see a massive difference from the Leeds game? Are we expecting to see much difference? Or are we expecting it that it's a little bit better, i.e. you've put Cunha and Mbeumo in that team, it's a bit better, but it's not like night and day better. It's not radically better. It's not, suddenly we're this amazing attacking team and we're playing through the middle, playing this dynamic, quick, fast, attacking, goal-scoring football. It was just Brian Mbeumo that we needed. No, because if you expect that, you are going to be disappointed. Like, you are. Is it a case of, like Muddy saying here, is it just expect the same as Leeds and then, if it's a bit better, you're pleasantly surprised? Maybe. I think maybe that's the safest way to go, isn't it? I'll just expect the same. And then if it is better, that's great. Wasn't expecting that. That was a pleasant surprise. And we're still in that position at the moment, aren't we? Where everyone involved is basically in a can't win situation. If we lose and don't play well, obviously meltdown settings, we're shit. If we play better but we lost, still meltdown settings of like, doesn't really matter though, you're not winning games. If we win, it will still be okay, but got to do it in the season. These players don't fool me. Remember that. These players don't fool me. So it'll be like, do it again. And even if we had a great preseason, we won all of the games, we'd be like, well, I'll believe it when the season starts. So it's, you can't really win. The only thing they can do, just to keep the pressure off just a little bit, is actually just win the games, play well. But it won't really stop all that much. It won't. And as Flex and KG mentioned in their video, it's not like the preseason's gone by, where we're playing Arsenal, we're playing Real Madrid, we're playing Dortmund, we're playing Everton, West Ham, and Bournemouth. Now, I don't say that like, they're shit, because Bournemouth, our record against Bournemouth is horrible, and they're a good side. They've obviously lost players, but they're a good side with a good coach. Everton, when David Moyes came in last season, they were one of the more informed teams in the Prem, weren't they? West Ham, they're rubbish, but they still beat us at Old Trafford. So we're not in a position to take the piss, are we? So, but they would be games that Manchester United are expected to win. But what is Manchester United anymore? So it still is very much up in the air. And that's, as Flay G mentions there in the chat, people would point to, they go, that's our level. If you talk about Liverpool or City or Arsenal or Chelsea, that they're above our level at the moment. We're nowhere near them. Absolutely nowhere near. We're playing what teams that would be expected to finish mid-table. If they finish in the top half, it'd be a good season for them. That's where we're at. That's where we're at the moment, which is, I know, very, very depressing. A couple more super chats here. Tabarez says, progressing the ball from the back five into middle and final third as to what he's expecting. And Ray says, I'm expecting to see improvements. That's what Amram said. We do. That's what I want. Just improvements from the team on last year. I hope so. I really, really hope so. I mean, Lord knows the last two preseason tours of the United States have been, to be honest, pretty miserable watches in terms of the football. Last season, it wasn't good. We got, pumped by Liverpool. We didn't even play that badly that day, but we lost to Liverpool and we just weren't very good. Lost against Arsenal, didn't we? Season before that, we played Arsenal and won, and it was like, look at that, we beat them 1-0, and then for the rest of the tour, we stunk. We were horrible. It was only really Ten Hag's first preseason. That was a good preseason tour. We beat Liverpool 4-0, didn't we? And he had some good games, and Ten Hag had just come in, so there was really this element of optimism. Wasn't really any signings at that point. It was just Malacia, but there was this element of optimism, which then got crushed in the first two games of the season. But at least in the preseason, that was enjoyable. So we haven't had an enjoyable preseason, whatever that means, for quite some time. So it would be nice to have some optimism, wouldn't it? It would make a nice change of things. Whether we get there or not, we shall see. So there you go, guys. Where do we end up in terms of likes? We didn't even get to 400 likes. If you haven't already, click the like button. Let's click the like button on the way out and be sure to subscribe. A reminder, more content is on the horizon from Flex and KG over there in the United States. They'll be dropping videos all the time, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Stay locked into all of our socials as well. You can see all of the clips, and you can see if any last-minute changes, streams, etc., videos. So be sure to follow us at United View TV on everything. That's X, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, you name it. And if there's any breaking news for transfers or news or anything like that, of course, I'll be here with you all the way through this entire preseason in the Asylum. So I'll be here. Anyway, guys, have a good Thursday, and I'll speak to you again very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.